Hello there, unfortunate audience. Welcome back to our art redraw series. Last time we did Mario where his eyes don't look quite right. I don't have a smudge tool, so I couldn't fix it because by the end of it I was so many layers deep that the program just didn't work right anymore, and quite frankly I can't be bothered to to go through it and fix it anymore. But it's whatever. And we talked about why the previous art piece wasn't so good, but this time we're moving on to a new art piece, which I did not prepare to show off beforehand, which I really should have. It is Dialtown from yeah, here we go. It's Dialtown. Now, many people who watch this channel, you should know Dialtown because Dialtown was one of the most popular series I did. And I don't really... uh, I had so much fun playing that series. It was one of my favorites. Here you can start to see that the file format becomes standardized. From here on out, we won't have the atrocity that was Mario RPG's file of it being 3600 pixels big. That was just ridiculous. This was back when there was still lore on this channel, and there was there was a lot of things about it. My god, this looks creepy for a variety of reasons, but this looks creepy now. Now that I'm looking back on it, it doesn't feel like the face is like melting. It's like melting in different areas. Why is the ear so small? You can even see a tiny detail here. I don't think that's visible in the final product because of just how small it ends up being, or the belt really. This was back in the day when I didn't know how clothes work. To put it quite simply, I put way too much effort in trying to make the folds clove. No, the clothes fold, right, in different areas. The clothes do fold, but they do not fold to this degree, and they're not this baggy, especially not if you're wearing a suit. Suits don't fold that crazily. But you know what? Since we're doing Dialtown, we don't necessarily need to stick to what we did before. For example, I was actually thinking on doing a similar thing that we did with the original, and completely replacing this character with Randy from Dialtown, who I think was one of the first characters you dated in that game. Why is this image just an error? That makes things slightly more complicated. I need reference, and well, this is reference, I guess. So I guess we're gonna do Randy from Dialtown, and since, well, first of all, I don't know why there's a femboy cat picture of Randy on the internet. I did not need to see that today. Dialtown doesn't necessarily have like a set style. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of it's like well, it has like a style, but it's not really. None of the characters are drawn there. They're more like photoshopped people, which I've always found extremely funny. But it means that we can just do sort of whatever the hell we want with with the style. And I've been thinking of going a little bit more into like a comic book style. You know, dark black shadows and whatnot. And I think that's what we're gonna go for here. Now, Dialtown. Oh my god, I remember Dialtown. Dialtown was so unimaginably long ago. That was, when was that? I don't even remember. I need, like, a full image of this. None of these are big enough. This is gonna be a little bit difficult because I don't have a good reference for this, but, Dialtown, I remember when I first discovered Direct Doggo's Day Shift at Freddy's, when I played, well, I played it off screen, well, I not really played, I watched someone else play it, but I found those games super funny, so I kept tabs on his new game, which was Dialtown, for, like, years. I kept tabs on that, and I had, like, an entire wish list and everything. You know what, let's do something expressive. We're not gonna... There you go. We're gonna give the phone a little bit of a personality here. Because, Randy's a very, shy person, very timid, right? He's always scared about something, or, like, he has low self-esteem. So we're gonna make sure we embody that in this art. We're gonna We're gonna make sure we embody that. He has fuckface written here. And the hardest part of, I think, about this entire drawing is just gonna be the phone aspect of it. I am not good at drawing phones, I'll be honest with you. I barely remember I even have a phone most of the time. I barely use it. I don't like using phones. I get a call from my phone, I'm like, well, what the hell is this? What is this? How'd you get this number? My name's Elvis. I liked Elvis. Man, I miss Elvis. Man, I miss Michael Jackson. Man, I miss Elvis and Michael Jackson. Man, I miss the 1980s. Why do we have to progress? Why does humanity have to keep going forward? Where are we going forward to? What's the end goal here? I'll tell you what the end goal is. You know what? That's not appropriate. I can't say that. I can't. I'm just not gonna finish that thought. I'm just gonna leave that open-ended as to what that could possibly have been. I'm not finishing that. Luckily for everyone who likes Dialtown, I do plan to go back on this. I cannot see those fucking details. Great. The only other reference that has the actual character, not fan art of him, is a fucking GIF that is moving at like 700 frames per second that I can't see properly. This is like the worst thing ever. Oh, it's just numbers. I'm so stupid. Well, I can only... It's not going to be accurate, alright? I'm sorry, guys. It's not going to be lore accurate. I'm sorry. I didn't get the full 6 numbers here, but you know what? It doesn't need to be lore accurate, right? It doesn't need to be. We just need to be accurate enough. He's wearing like an open sweater, which I never understood, right? Yeah. Oh god, this might be something I'm bad at because I don't know exactly how to comicify this except maybe like going extreme, right? Yeah, we'll go extreme on the proportions there. The best way to do comic proportions is to just like wing as much of it as possible, right? Give it as much like a heft, as much swing, like swang. I don't know how to explain, but just do the comic book style. Just exaggerate as much as possible. Now, since this is a sketch layer, we're lucky in the fact that we can be sort of lazy in the details. Again, we do this often. In the sketch layer, we don't put all our effort into the details. We put most of our effort into you know, making sure that we get something expressive, something that really pops out. And this is not working so far. I'm not liking the proportions, but whatever. We'll figure it out. That's what the sketching layer is for. We figure stuff out on this layer. You know what? I think it might be because he's like way too like thick for some reason. I think the phone head might be a little bit too massive. I don't know how to fix this because I've never done a guy who's just a phone face before. You know, we'll just have to wing it even harder than usual. We usually wing it, but we're gonna have to wing it even harder. Now, another problem is that I don't think we ever see the bottom of him, so I'm not sure how to draw his legs, which is fine. We'll come to that when we come to that. But he actually has a very like detailed and very difficult to draw shirt because it's filled with like lines and everything, and I'm not good at that. Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to draw this. Are you serious? The only image I can find that's zoomed in is a fucking, what is that? A tenor.com image, and it's just Randy standing in a blank background with the text "It's Tuesday" on it. What the fuck is this? Who is this made for? What is this? Bro, what is going on? Okay, alright. Well, we'll just pretend that we know the details. Now, god damn it, I don't know when that happened. Since we're going a lot more like cartoony with this, you know, remember, we're gonna have dark shading around here. Dark, cartoony shading. So we can expect a lot of the darker areas of the image to just be pitch black, which helps with the that looks like a tumor. I was about to do like sweat droplets like this, but that looks like a tumor. Well, what's the other one? The other one's like Yeah, like this, right? That doesn't look so bad. We can keep that. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what the expression I'm going for here is. I'm just gonna again, we're gonna wing it and see what happens. We're gonna exaggerate as much as possible, you know, just really try to bring this character to life, which is really hard because his face is a phone and by nature lifeless. And also, I'm not good at drawing jackets. I have no clue what a jacket actually looks like. I haven't worn one in years. I've adapted to the coldness of New York City. I've grown fond of its lifeless streets and its shit architecture. Living down here, you guys should come to New York City at some point. You know? you should come to the ghetto and say the N-word. I dare you. That's a dare, by the way. Do it right now. Right fucking now. Anyways, enough fucking around, right? I mess around on this channel a lot. I say you should do stuff that you really should not do. Do not take anything I say seriously, ever. If I'm ever like kidnapped and the only way I can express that is through like a video and I go, guys, I'm being kidnapped, no one's gonna take that shit seriously. See, this is the downside of being a comedian. Sometimes you find people who just take the joke too seriously and don't realize you're actually being kidnapped for once. The one day I actually get DDoSed, bro, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna motherfucking know I've been DDoSed. And you know, I was with that for a while, but it's just not working. It looks a little bit too much. I don't know how to express it, but he was looking fat. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how to thin this out other than to just go with it. Right? Now, with the dimensions that we're probably gonna have, we're not gonna have enough space to first of all, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Just remind myself that this jacket has stripes. And very confusing with that. We're just gonna temporarily put some stripes down. It's not gonna be accurate to what he's actually wearing, but we'll just make up, you know, we'll be close enough to what you can get. You know, that's what else can you ask for other than close enough, right? Am I right or am I right? I'm right. I'm always right. I've been right since the day I was born. That's what my mama told me. God damn, I miss her every day. She's been dead for 71 years. Damn, she's been dead longer than I've been alive. Alright, well, we got the upper half done, which is very easy because I have multiple references for this. But now it's time for the lower half, which I have no reference for. I always assumed Randy was like a very skinny but tall, like that kind of character, you know, like this kind of character. No, that's not skinny enough. I really should do the basics first. Yeah, like this. I always, whenever I'm trying to do legs to position them, I always do this. This helps so much for me, at least, because it gives me a general direction in which to put the legs in. And we're just gonna do this, you know, give him very shrunken, very skinny leggings, you know, like he's wearing jeans or something, even though I don't actually know how to make jeans. And we're just gonna pretend we're gonna add the seam lines in, you know, the area of the jeans where the pants come together. I'm pretty sure I've done, dude, I'm repeating myself. I don't know anything. I ran out of like things to say after the first episode. That's crazy for an art series. The problem is that my process is like super simple. I don't think about it too much, so there isn't much to say. So I don't know how much more I could possibly add other than, you know, what I've already said before. Those shoes. That shoe is a banger. I'm going to redo it. Because if we're going to go cartoony, we're going to go all the way, you know? Give him absolute fucking stompers, you know? Give him that Mario makeover, boy. Give him that Mario-ass makeover. We're gonna... There you go. Now he looks like he's wearing goofy shoes. You know... I don't know if anyone knows this, but my favorite art styles are always the cartoony. Again, I like cartoony art styles. I don't think it comes across that way because my main profile picture on YouTube is more anime inspired than anything, but that was because it was drawn a long time ago. And by a long time ago, I mean like the beginning of this year, I think it was. No, the end of last year, I think it was. Or did I change it? Oh my god. I don't even remember when I changed that fucking thing. You've got to be kidding me. My memory really is bad, guys. My memory really is bad. Never rely on me to remember anything. You're gonna have to remind me constantly, because I will forget. The millisecond you give me a chance to, I will forget. But, I don't remember exactly when I changed it, but it was a long time ago. I know that. And you know what? I'm actually not too disappointed with what we got here. You know, it's very Randy-ish. Not exactly the most accurate, thing you could possibly get, but it is Randy-ish. You got the hands, very Randy-like. He's got feet, you know, very Randy-like. He's got shoes and clothing. A Randy staple right there. You don't see a lot of people with those anymore. Yeah, I don't think there's really much to add on to this. We're gonna add a lot more in the coloring stage. I'm just gonna make sure I know that these are bandages, and we're gonna bloody them up later because for some reason, all right, he fights his goose. No, that's not the right term. Geese at the park. Yeah, he works at a park and he fights geese. I remember, guys. All right, I remember. I'm not that stupid. All right. Ooh, I'm gonna remember to do this time. Last time I said that I didn't do this, even though I really should be. And it's coloring the layer a different color. This is very useful, so you can know which one's your current drawing, which one's the drawing underneath, right? So you can differentiate between the layers. Very useful. Why is this fucking 60? I don't remember putting it like that. I think we're making great progress. We've, beforehand, I think the sketching phase took a lot longer to do. I think we practically sped ran this. Because right now, we're in my home territory, which is cartoony stuff. I am super big into cartoony stuff. That's my main drawing style right now, is just cartoony stuff. Because I tried for a while to do realism, and realism is cool and whatever, but it just gets boring after a while, right? I live in real life every single day. This is the most boring thing in my entire life, my entire existence. Why would I want to draw that? So I started just drawing cartoony stuff, and I went back to the basics, you know, coloring trees purple instead of green, that sort of stuff. Just go wild, man. I think the main message of this entire series is that art is supposed to be fun, right? As long as you're having fun, you're doing art properly, right? As long as you're having fun, that's the main purpose of it. And if you're not having fun, the thing you should do is find a way to make it fun again. And the way I made it fun again was doing cartoon stuff instead of more realistic stuff, because I found it more fun, right? And then coloring things incorrectly, but with pretty colors, you know, like drawing. One of my favorite combinations has always been blue and orange. Because although red and blue is complementary colors, blue and orange I always feel like it fits more. It complements each other a lot more. No, wait. That's wrong. Blue and red aren't complementary. Red and green is complementary. I think blue and orange is complementary. What the hell am I going on about? Yeah, no, blue and orange is complementary. I don't know why the hell it came to my red and green. You know why? Because I have that freaking Shantae game in my mind. It's like a Vietnam flashback. It's like every time I think I'm over it, it just comes back and ruins my life. Every time I try to sleep at night, all I think about is that stupid Shantae theme and the freaking everything about that game is just it's like worse than 9/11. I swear to God. I hate that game. I made a video on it. I'm screwing this up royally, by the way, but I made a video on it. And, yeah, it's, I hope no one takes it too seriously. I don't think that Shantae is the worst game of all time or anything like that. I just think it's a very bad game, you know? I'm not backing down from the fact that I don't like the game. No, you're allowed to dislike any game. That's not something that you can necessarily be wrong about. But, God damn it. But, I do think it's a bad game. It's not very enjoyable. I am still gonna finish it though, because I dedicated myself to playing that game so that when I played the sequel, I can have a better standing point, so I can be like, oh, so that's what's changed. That's what's better. Oh, that sort of stuff. I'm that kind of guy, you know. I played the first game and then the sequel. I'm that kind of person. I don't know when I've ever done that, but I'm that kind of person. I don't think I've ever done it on this channel though. Okay, he does not have a face on the screen. For a second there, I thought maybe he might have had a face on the screen, but no. Now, with the cartoony style, we are going to go back and add, like, sketchiness to it and everything, of course. That's, like, half the charm of it, is sketchiness. But right now, you always want a solid base point for everything, right? That's always what you want before you get into making everything absolutely crazy, is you want a solid base point, right? And we're doing that right now. Isn't that incredible? We're doing that right now, at this very moment, while we speak. It is happening. We're making that base point. This is a change in human history. This is better, bigger than when aliens taught us how to build pyramids. Why do people think that? Why do people think aliens came down here and said, yo, I got this crazy idea about you, right? What if you go out there and you build triangles? Big, massive triangles, right? And if you do that, something will happen. Oh my god. Something happened. It's a miracle. I was right. Like, you think aliens really care that much? Why would we as humans, right, the good way to think about this, if we were an extraterrestrial species that could go to other planets, why would we waste our time messing around with planets where people don't have the smarts or anything? They're not smart. They're not cultured or civilized yet, right? There's an entire Sentinel Island, I think it's called, that's been uncontacted for like most of human history. You see anyone messing around there? No. No one's going over there and telling them how to start a fire, right? Because we just don't care. It's not worth our time or effort. So why would aliens do the same thing? If they were anything like us, why would they do the same or similar things? They wouldn't. The simple fact is that they wouldn't. They wouldn't bother because we're not smart enough. There, end of story, end of the conspiracy. No one can ever come up with another alien conspiracy again. I've done it. Oh my god, I did it. I ended alien conspiracies throughout the world forever. You can applaud me, it's fine. I know, my genius knows no bounds. Quite frankly, it's horrifying. People shudder in fear when a nice guy gets angry. The devil shudders and fears and comes and pisses himself. Oh my god. Where did that nonsense even start, man? I remember there used to be this entire, like, cringe epidemic on the internet, like, a while back, and everyone was just making fun of cringe on the internet, right? It started, I think the reason why it became so popular was because PNG tubers became a thing, which I don't think are a thing anymore. Or if they are, I certainly haven't heard from them in a while. But, everyone went crazy attacking people like Jellybean over it. I'd honestly, again, I'll be the first to say, I don't care. I frankly do not care. You ask me my opinion on most things about life, maybe I'll indulge you a bit, right? Maybe I'll make a joke about it and exaggerate, but in reality, I just don't care. I'm very apathetic towards most things in life, and that was one of them. I just don't care. People went crazy over it, though. There's like entire channels dedicated to shitting on these people. It was insane. Oh my god. But now it's not a thing anymore. Or at least it's not a big thing anymore. I haven't seen that happen anymore. I think they're still around, but I don't think they're anywhere near as popular as they used to be. It sort of reminds me of the animation craze that happened a few years ago. There used to be the craze where animations were super popular on YouTube specifically before YouTube started deeming them as like kids content and screwing over entire channels. Oh my god, that used to be the shit back then. There used to be, god, like you had like not seven, that's way too small. You had like thousands of different animation channels that were getting like millions of views. Oh my god, those were the days. I think those were some of the best days on the internet. You know why I think those are some of the best days on the internet? I think that was around the time Undertale was also popular. Oh god, do you remember when Undertale came out for the first time and people went crazy for it? I think I've said this before, but when Undertale initially came out, I could not care less. I'm one of those people where if you bombard me with something a million times, I lose interest almost immediately. Alright? I don't like things being shoved down my throat, surprisingly enough. In spite of like the 900 gay jokes I say in this channel, I don't actually like things shoved down my throat forcefully. And when Undertale initially came out, I could not stand listening about that. I remember going to Jacksepticeye's YouTube channel and being like, man, he's playing this shit fucking insane. Man, this game fucking sucks. It was a good game. It was a good game. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite games of all time, though. That's ridiculous. I don't know. Not even close. I mean, you certainly could, right? But when it comes to me, I value gameplay above all else, so it could never be like one of those games, you know? Games that I could play quite literally forever. One of them would be Kirby Superstar Ultra. That was just a really good game. I could never get sick of that game. And another one was, I don't know, would I count, like, a Super Mario game in there? I don't know if I would. I don't know if there's any Super Mario game I would count in there. I'll think about it for a second place. You know what? No, Half-Life. The original Half-Life. That's a game I can play practically forever. I mastered that game at one point. At one point, I was speedrunning through the entire game. I can't do that anymore. Because I don't play it anymore. I don't play it nearly as religiously as I used to at one point. Now, we're gonna do the basics of coloring, and hopefully I don't have to use a reference for this because I feel like the colors are simple enough that even I, a mere child, could do it justice. You know what? No. No, I will take the more vibrant option, even if it's not as accurate. We're going the cartoony route, baby. We're going vibrant with these colors. This video is getting taken down by YouTube. I can already feel it. This is a kid's content. Children can't have bright colors. I mean, people don't like bright colors, right? As we all know, once you hit the glorious old age of 17, you are no longer allowed to like bright colors. It's a horrendous fact. It's depressing for most people. I've seen a number of people commit suicide over it, but it's true. Right? It's just true. We can't fight it any longer. We have to accept the fact that once you hit a certain age, the color red becomes illegal. All right? That reminds me of like communist Monopoly. I don't know why. It's a weird jump to make, but it reminds me of communist Monopoly. I think this is like a dark green. Yeah, that's about right. Communist Monopoly, you know what? It's not the bright color that's throwing me off. It's the fact that it feels more turquoise than this. No, right? Maybe more like a dull turquoise? Yeah, that one, this one seems to fit a lot better. I think it's this color, no? God, I am so bad at color picking, man. I'm fucking horrendous at this. Just bring him in. What? Oh my god. What color is this? Pick it up. My tablet is not working. It wasn't turquoise, it was fucking cyan. Kill me now. Kill me right fucking now. I'm gonna end it all right goddamn now. And I'm on the wrong layer. Today was a series of today was a comedy of errors. Perhaps a jester would suit me. God, I pre-recorded the entirety of Secret of the Mimic, right? I have the entire series already recorded, and I can't upload it because it's not Halloween yet. I'm saving it for Halloween. I'm planning to also maybe pre-record something like Dialtown to make sure 100% that it comes out on the day it's supposed to, which is on Halloween. I don't know which one's gonna come out first, though. If it's gonna be Secret of the Mimic or Dialtown. I think it's gonna be Secret of the Mimic. Honestly, I know it seems a little bit disappointing, but Secret of the Mimic was it's not that long of a series. Well, no. Well, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll figure something out. That's like like a month away from now. It's September. Yeah, October's next month. Yeah, I'll figure it out by then. I'll have something planned, don't you worry. Dialtown is coming soon. It is coming back soon. Oh god, I cannot wait for that. Because I haven't played it yet. I'm saving myself for it. I'm saving myself for Dialtown. Oh dear god, someone end it now. Now this is interesting. I'm gonna have to come back to this shirt in a little bit. I don't know what the color is. Just color it that. I can't think of a color for an undershirt. We'll come back to it later. I know what color these bandages are, though. Almost white. And the reason why it's almost white is, guess what? Yeah, that's right. You can't shade pure white. If you didn't say that exactly when I said that, then we're no longer friends. You have to be in sync with me. I can't believe I can't constantly be running after you people. Anyways, he has regular human hands. It's kind of weird. It is just a stock photo with the oh my god, that reminds me. I was watching some of the most popular meme songs from throughout the years. Bro, who was it? Who was it who made Rebecca Black's Friday has got to be one of the worst fucking songs I have ever listened to in my entire life. What color should his shoes be? Shut up, I know what color it is. It's orange. But it has to be one of the worst fucking songs in human history. I don't know how to express to you just how bad it is, right? Because it's not the fact that it's like the background beat is bad or anything. No. The lyrics are god awful. She's talking nonstop and manages to say absolutely nothing, right? The beat is atrocious. It just repeats the same thing over and over and over again. Like that constitutes a beat, right? It does not. It does not constitute a beat. And the worst part is that, like, she in the music video, she's like barely putting any effort into it. It's like she's sort of like bobbing her head a little bit, like she sort of cares, but not really. There's clearly no effort put into it. I don't know what happened, but that entire video is a travesty. It is infuriating to listen to that. I can see why people hated it so much now. I always thought, people were overreacting to like a song like that. Like, it can't possibly be that bad. No, it can't. It can possibly be that bad. It can possibly be that bad. Anyways, now that we're done with that, we can go back here. I don't know why I color picked it. I didn't really need to. But we can go back here and add some lines. I should probably add the other ones first. No, wait, what? No, I should add these ones first. What am I talking about? I'm getting things mixed up. But my god, I cannot stand that song. That's the worst thing ever. And the same thing goes for Darude Sans. Listen, I know it's a funny song, right? But it's just that beat over and over and over again. It gets grating, alright? I get tired of listening to it once. I listened to it once, and I got tired. And then there's the... No, you always hear the part of the guacamole. You never hear the rest of it. The rest of it is insufferable. It's literally her doing the exact same fucking thing, but with different fruits. And it's like, peel the banana, peel the banana, hide the body, hide the body. Cover the body bag, cover the body bag, cover the bag, cover the body bag. It's like, steal the gun, the officer's gun, steal the officer's gun. It's that over and over and over again, and I can't be bothered. I got like 5 minutes into it. I'm like, I'm fucking out. I'm out. I can't be bothered with this shit. I could not be bothered to continue watching that. That was like, I was reaching my limit by like the 1 minute mark. I'm like, I can't take shit anymore. But then you have some like some legitimately good songs, like ones from Linkin Park when the band used to be good back in the day. Then you had well, I can't remember the rest. But yeah, there's like some good songs stuck in there, right? And then you just have the Minecraft song, mining away. I don't know what. About to mine, I'll mine it anyways. The worst part about that song, I think, is not necessarily that there's a kid singing it, but that the kid singing it has a microphone that is complete and utter ass. It is like the worst microphone in human history. It blows out so easily. It's like my microphone used to be before I went into the settings and changed it, right? It's like that, except he's singing at full fucking max volume, and my ears nearly exploded multiple times throughout that. Oh my god, it was certainly an experience. But yeah, you got some good things in there, some bangers, and then some absolute travesties and atrocities. But what else can you expect from the human experience, am I right? Well, we're almost done here. I have to just finish filling in some holes here and there. But we're gonna go back and do more with this. I don't know why I colored that such a dark color. That's not very appealing to look at. It just looks like it's uncolored. It looks like one of those unfinished like coloring books that you get. God, I remember like what was his name? Jazza Draws or whatever. He looked online. He saw like an what was it, like an expressions book, and he bought it, and he thought it was made by a person, but it was AI. And my question to him is, how the fuck could you possibly have thought that was made by a person? It was like the most obvious AI thing in human history, and he thought it was made by a person. He's ridiculous. But anyways, actually, before we move on, I want to do something here, because we can simulate the tape that he has on his face for this. I just need to make a new layer, set it low. There you go. It's not like exact, but it's good enough, you know? Now, whoops, I deleted Celeste from the universe. That's not it's very lore accurate. But now we can go back and add a bunch of sketchy lines everywhere, you know? Like bring this really to life, you know? Obviously keeping and truth with keeping the original form intact, obviously. The goal is to add a bit of personality, not to messy it up a lot, you know? I think we're gonna focus heavily on the outsides of the character, you know, because they give it that comic book feel on the outside. Comic books tend to have broad, like a very broad. No, what that broad is not the fucking word, olaterrio. I can't think of the word, but very like noticeable outlines, right? Bold is the word I'm looking for. God damn, why did it take me like 70 tries to get bold? But they have very bold outlines to separate the characters from the background. And you know, nowadays, that's not much of a thing anymore, because, you know, digital art replaced, you know, physical art. And it's also the reason why we get more transparency in comic books nowadays. Because back in the day, you didn't see a lot of transparent stuff, like beers or anything, or like waters. They used to be drawn with a certain, like, color or whatever, because transparent wasn't a color you could put on a comic book back in the day. But nowadays we have transparency, so we can have like much nicer drawings of water and beer, I guess. I don't know exactly where I'm going with this entire rant, but whatever. Yeah, but the evolution's very nice. I was reading the Sonic IDW, sorry. I'm thinking of something completely different. I'm thinking of the Archie comics, and I abbreviated it completely wrong. My brain is just not, it's like working at 1% power. I was about to go to sleep before I realized that I was supposed to do a video of these. So, it's late at night again, and I'm back up and late at night drawing, which isn't the most optimal time to be drawing, but you know what? We don't do optimal. We do fun. We do charismatic. We do initiation. We do experimental. We do the new, the exciting, the unexplored, the treacherous. We don't do normal here. We don't allow straights in this house. Anyways, what layer was I supposed to do this on? Yeah, okay, this one. I gotta recolor the hoodie here so you can actually tell it's a hoodie and not just another part of it. I didn't do that for some reason. I forgot. All right. Well, I think we got a very, like, a simplistic outline, right? Now for this one, obviously we're going to be doing something a little bit different because we're doing comic books and stuff, so a lot of the lighting is going to be bold, dark, and like this. We're going to add a little bit of sketchiness to like the very ends of it, but most of it is going to be this. Which I think really helps things pop and stand out when you add very bold and like defined lighting. It really helps things stand out. Really helps different parts of the character specifically stand out. I usually use it around the arms, the neck, and like the any sort of overlapping clothing. I use it there too. I don't tend to use it much else because you can really mess up. Well, no, you can use it in like the legs or whatever, right? I don't know exactly where the light is coming from for this piece, so I'll keep it fairly vague as to where it could be coming from right now, just so we don't screw ourselves over later. Right? Like, just generally in areas where it would already be dark, like the bottom of the arms, or like the bottom of the arms, or like near the shoes and whatnot. So we're just gonna keep it fairly vague for now. But later on, when we're starting to add more of the lighting, we might go back to this and add some more. You know, and just to like curve the lighting around here, give it a little bit of a no, fuck that. Anyways, yep. Classic olaterrio bit right there. You know what? Down here wouldn't be too bad. No, like the jacket is covering up the shirt underneath. There you are. So, I'm not sure how to start doing anything here. But is this a new layer? No, it did not click. So I guess we're just gonna start with I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to start with this. Generally, I guess we can start with the shadows, right? That's the easiest part. We'll just start with the shadows. And for the general rule is that in warm lights you have cool shadows, and in cool lights you have warm shadows. So we're going to be applying that rule right now. If we have a warm light, we're going to have cool shadows, so all of this is going to be cooler, right? And I'm not quite certain where the shadows come from. I'm just going to assume that the shadow is coming overhead. How about that? We're just going to assume that it's somewhere overhead, like it's a nice sunny day outside. We just got invited to the world's greatest picnic, right? Man, this has got to be one of the gayest freaking series I've ever done on this channel. It's just Dialtown. You know what? There was gonna be one that was even gayer, right? There was this like itch.io bird game I found that had like 2 gay birds in it, and I didn't know it until like near the end, and I was like, oh shit, this is like the gayest fucking thing ever. And the reason why it didn't get made was because I had to stop halfway through recording, and I never got around to it again. And I don't know if that game is still there or not, so I don't remember what the fuck its name was, but I don't plan on finding it. It's lost to the Shadow Realm from now on. You know, we'll curve this into we'll curve this in, and we'll add more to this. Yeah, like this. Yeah, and then, you know, just give it a little bit of oomph, give it a bit of form, a bit of three-dimensionalism. Everyone loves that shit for some reason. You know, it always starts underwhelming, but it quickly becomes something interesting when you put a little bit of detail into it. That's how all these art projects start. It always starts a little bit bad and then gets better. You just gotta keep going with it. Why did you stop drawing? You know, there's a lot of nonsense that goes on in every community, really, but sometimes in the art community, God, there is a reason why I don't interact with, like, any community at all. You know, like, I'm playing Amori right now. I don't talk to people who play Amori. I don't acknowledge their existence. As far as I know, there's some strange, like, paranormal creatures that maybe play that game. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the only person who's played Amori, because from what I've heard, right, those people are apparently fucking psychopaths. They are apparently some of the most degenerate people on the planet, and then there's just a reason why I just don't bother with that kind of stuff anymore. I think the last time I ever tried to do that was with, like, the Undertale community. It feels like I'm drawing piss. It feels like I'm drawing piss. was with the Undertale community back when it was popular, and that was about the only time I ever tried. We're gonna contradict ourselves a little bit here and say that the shadow's coming a little bit more from the right than to the left. You know, just give it a little bit of direction and everything. Sorry, I change my mind often. This is a common problem. We're just gonna add some color to it. You know, we're not gonna make everything colorful, but we're definitely gonna add some color to it. You know, just to spice it up a little bit. No, that shouldn't work. That probably is about the most light that would reach there. So I'm trying to give it color by making like one part of the image more colored in one color than the other one. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna exactly work out, or if it's gonna work out well, but we're gonna try, right? We're gonna assume that like at the middle here, the sunlight manages to hit the shirt, but on the edges it can't. And we'll keep adding details, you know, more and more details as the drawing goes on. Again, my process for art is horrifyingly inconsistent and filled with just constantly me going, you know what? Let's do something different here. You know what? Let's disregard what I said there. It's just that, but like 1,000 times over. There's no definitive process to my art making. So again, you don't need to know every ins and outs of everything. As long as you know the general basics, you could probably get by doing just fine, right? You don't need to know how to be the world's greatest artist to make something. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing half the time. I contradict myself consistently, and I still come out with pieces that I generally like. And now we're gonna do a little bit of cheekiness. We're gonna add some whoa, that could be dangerous. We're gonna add a little bit of maybe with this brush, maybe smaller. We're gonna add a little bit of the cheekiness that we added in here with this. You know, like certain parts of the drawing should be brighter than others, so that you know you focus on one part. Maybe we'll keep it, maybe we won't. I'll just see what it looks like with this, right? Jesus Christ, I don't know if this is going well. We'll just generally make this a little lighter. Not too light then. You know, it wouldn't be bad lighting if maybe it stuck to the whoa, I did not mean to do that. If it stuck to the yellow light jet, I don't know. This is a lot of trial and error. We don't know what we're doing here, but we're trying. And I'm trying to not overdo it. I'm probably gonna lower the effectiveness of this layer, just so that it doesn't overtake the one below it. You know, maybe somewhere like this, so you can sort of get the idea of what came before it. And, you know, it's the mixing of these ideas that end up making something that feels unique, and something that feels, you know, good, right? None of these layers are named. I don't know fuck all what half of these layers actually what they actually are. I just keep adding more and more and more and more, and eventually we'll reach a state where we go, that's pretty good. And we're gonna add now like the edge lights. This is one of my favorite parts of any drawing, is just adding edge lights. For some reason I'm like, I really like edge lights. I don't know, it's not the fact that it makes everything look shiny, not that. I think it's the fact that it like gives it more definition in one certain area, like in the left or the right. I feel like that's the reason why I like it so much. It gives like a sense of finality and clarity, and I tend to like that a lot. Speaking of clarity, anyone who's watching this as the time of upload, if you're watching the Amori series, which I just mentioned earlier, as of recording this, no, wait, no, I shouldn't say that, right? No, because that episode hasn't released yet. Okay, never mind. Forget I said anything. forget I ever brought up anything. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. This is you heard nothing. You heard nothing. God damn it. I think we got a you know what? I'm loving this series so far because we got a good mix of styles here. We have very smooth, we have very rough, and then we have the more cartoony style that I tend to go with more often than not. Very vibrant and bright. I like this a lot. I'm actually enjoying this series a lot. I didn't think that would be the case, but whatever. Oh, great goodness. I do believe I've accidentally gotten rid of a color. Yep, there it is. I don't even know how the fuck I did that. I accidentally got rid of color dodge. How is that even possible? Well, whatever. Again, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here, but I do know one thing. I want this. This might be a little bit too big. Maybe it should be a more... Yeah, more like a standoffish color. Like a color that really pops out. As like the backlight color. I think when it comes to backlight colors, I feel like I always go for red. It's like a common occurrence for me. I always go red. You know, backlight's just there to provide a little bit of distinction. Maybe. I don't know, maybe I'll replace this. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I won't go through with this at all. There's never any certainty in my art. That keeps things interesting and also inconsistent. I don't know. I don't think I actually like it that much. Maybe if it's lower? Yeah, like a faint red? Yeah, I think that works a lot better than the oppressive red. Because there's already so much vibrancy in this art. I don't think it needs any more. We could just call it there, but I'm gonna keep going and see if I can get something crazy looking. Who knows? Maybe if I do, I don't know. I don't know if I can make anything more from this, but you know what? We're gonna see if I manage to take us anywhere. You know? This is all for experimental reasons. I don't think this is working at all. This seems like it washes out the color. Multiply always fucking does that. It always washes out the color. Not that that's always a bad thing. It's just a bad thing in this scenario when it doesn't fit the art style at all. I didn't use soft light. Well, I don't want to use soft light. This sucks. I think we're just gonna leave it there. I can't see anything else to add to this that I wouldn't have already added. Anyways, I keep doing the mistake of naming the layer Dialtown instead of the whole thing. Now we just gotta do the what is it called? The title, right? The title. And we'll be done with this episode. This might be one of the shorter ones. Because it's almost a minute long. Oh my god, this is actually going to be short. I'm not going to draw the phone heads from the title, though, because that would take a little bit too long. But, the Dialtown title is literally just... Wait a minute. Let me see something here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So the Dialtown title is literally just... Okay, it's super simple. Not that color though. God damn it, we're back to this shit again. What color is that? Good enough. Yeah, it really is just that simple. It's just the word Dialtown. And we're now going to put this behind Randall here. Boom. And that is another art piece finished. I'm going to Control S. And boom, we have saved. And that was Dialtown, everybody. I'm sorry if I rambled a bit in this episode into nothingness and just meaningless dialogue that doesn't mean anything. But, you know, that's just how it is in the YouTube business. I ran out of things to say pretty quickly, but I think we came up with some pretty interesting conversation. Now, compared to the other ones, I still think Celeste is my favorite, just because of the raggedy art style, but I like this one a lot, too. It very much is the cartoony art style that I like a lot. Now we're gonna review the original here. Oh boy, what to say about this one? Well, I think you can immediately see a lot of problems with this, just from the beginning here. First of all, everything. Second of all, like I said, I think back then, I don't know why I decided to do that. I don't know why. I guess I was trying to be unique, but the head shape I made back then was always like this, and then it would like go downwards like this. I don't know why the fuck I thought that was good. That's like deviant. That's like fake deviant art. You know, like when cartoon shows try to pretend what deviant art looks like, they'll come up with like something that looks like this, and it's like this with like the super small nose, like the fake anime that you see in like TV shows or whatever. That's what it looks like. It's real. The One Piece is real. But other than that, right, we have the same problems as usual. At least I got the eyes mostly right. Right? This might be the first one where the eyes aren't complete dog shit. The face is melting off and the ear looks like it's just lobbed on there, but the eyes at the very least are working. And at least the neck is somewhat there, right? It's somewhat there. It's not exactly perfect, but it's somewhat there. The main problem with this one is just like everything's too loose, right? There's no structure to anything. It feels like there's nothing inside of these clothes. Like there's no limbs or anything. It's just like a wavy nonsense. That's the biggest problem there. And that goes throughout like the whole thing. There's no like body structure either. Like the body structure apparently here is this atrocity where you have this, then this small section that like caves in at the center, and then it's like a tube, man. You know, if it was more defined, it would look better. But because it looks so undefined, it looks like a balloon animal. You know what I mean? It's like it looks inflated or like non-structural. I don't know how to describe it better than that, right? And again, this was early on when I didn't know how to do clothing. The most I knew how to do was this apparently. And it's very obvious that I don't know how to do clothing. The tie here is massive. Look how much space the tie takes up. God damn, that is a massive fucking tie. Ties are not that big. But you know, I think I've always had a cartoonish art style. It's just that I'm better able to like what is it, like present it? No. Execute it. I can't think of a better word than that. Now than I was back then. Because back then you have this sort of like pseudo anime-esque art style, and it's just like the weird uncanny valley in between. Other than that, the hand is better. Still disgusting, but better. And that's about it. I don't have much to say about this one. This isn't the absolute atrocity that the last one was. Also, I don't know what I'm supposed to be wearing here. I have like the frills that you see on an army veteran, but upside down for some reason. They're upside down for some reason. I don't know why. I'm wearing a suit, but it's like patchy. I like making my character look homeless and everything, but why am I wearing a suit in that case? And there's like these weird details down here that like it's trying to be a weird mix of both fancy and patchworky, which can work, but you have to put a lot more effort into both sides of that, and it's just not. There's no effort in this whatsoever. Well, that was it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna bring up what the next one is. I have to open the file to see though. It's the file, it's the file, it's the file, it's the file, it's the pedophile! This is the wrong file. This is not, is it over here? No. Nope. It's not it. Where the fuck did I put this file? What goddamn file? What the I had like an entire file for. Oh, here it is. Right. Next time is actually something that you wouldn't have seen if you've only been on channel Olaterrio. That's right. This one comes from the Twitter account, and one of the unused art pieces, our first unused art piece, by the way, of the series, that I want to do again because I feel like I could do this one justice that I couldn't have done before, and that's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. right? I was going to, let me bring it up here if I can find which one. I think, yeah, okay, here we go. I wanted to do this for my playthrough of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I wanted to make Kirby, right? But this was the best I could do, and I was so ashamed of this that like, it was on the thumbnail for like the first few episodes. I was so ashamed of it, I went back and removed it from the thumbnails. In fairness, I'm looking back on it, it's not that bad. It's not the most egregious thing I've ever made, but it's not good either, you know? It's like a meh. It's like a meh. It doesn't fit, it's not Kirby at all to begin with. But you know what, we can go back and make this better. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time when we'll go back and do it justice. So yeah, bye-bye.